Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So we are really close to The Walking Dead premiering. By the way, episode 9 of the podcast is actually now available. The links for that is down below. We talk about season 9 and 10 fully, and yeah, we are now caught up to be able to do our next episode, and we'll talk about season 11, episode 1. Which I'm really looking forward to. So if you're new to the podcast, if you haven't heard of it, it's called the Forest Day Podcast. We talk about a lot of things with our personal lives. We'll talk about other different types of topics, but we also talk about The Walking Dead as well, because it's a show that we love, the show that we're watching right now, and it's the final season. So yeah, we'll go into like hour-long discussions about each episode of the final season as we go along here. Each episode of this will premiere though on the day that it airs on TV. So we're going to be watching the episode early, obviously, but we're going to record the podcast afterwards and release it. So like episode 1 will release on August 22nd, even though we're going to watch it on the 15th. We'll record our podcast afterwards, make sure our ideas and our thoughts are fresh on the episode, and then just like schedule it for the 22nd for whenever it releases online. This way, after it actually, or not releases online, but once the episode airs on cable and it's over, you guys can jump into that. You'll have like an hour, 2 hour long podcast about that episode. And also I will be doing like a very in-depth spoiler review, obviously, for the episode. My plan is as well for tomorrow to actually do a watch party for episode 1. So tomorrow night, really late at night. I mean, it's practically going to be midnight going to the 15th. I'm not sure what time it's actually going to be out yet. I don't know if it's going to be out right at midnight or 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock. I got to figure out exactly, because I know that they will change it. I think they wait for it to be like 12 o'clock Pacific. So I'll wait until then. And then, yeah, the plan is to do a live stream, Q&A, and basically just answer your guys' questions. And it's going to be really late in the early hours of the morning. We're going to watch the whole episode. Obviously, I'm not going to air the episode on here, but you guys are going to be able to watch my first reaction to that. And also, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to work on a review, and then I'll post that review later on in like a few hours afterwards. It's going to be a really late night for me. I'm going to be up until like, what? I don't even know, 4, 5, 6 in the morning and working on that review, but I'll get it out to you guys. And then afterwards, we'll talk about what's to come and stuff later on that day. And then the following week, and then I'll go into an in-depth, very in-depth spoiler review and post that on August 22nd, and just kind of keep going with that routine from week to week for all the episodes. I mean, it's exciting. The Walking Dead is practically here. And so, yeah, if you are new to the channel and you want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to be a subscriber. Now, I will say that I want to talk about a trailer that was actually released, but I will say that this week's reveal was a little disappointing because there wasn't really much of a reveal. It was a scene that we got, I think, like last week or something like that. And I know everyone's been asking me about my Carol Origins review, and so like I might do that video still. I might not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it really matters. Like, if you guys want to see my review for that because it's so short, maybe I'll still do it. But like, it was just a Carol recap, right? Like, there was a Carol scene which was really cool, and I think that happens early on in episode 1. It's one of the first scenes. I think out of all the scenes that we got with the Walking Dead Origins episodes, that one is the first one that we'll see, is the stuff with Carol and all that. But we'll have to wait and see, because it depends, because I haven't seen the episode yet. I'll be watching it tomorrow night with you guys. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But this new teaser that we got, this new teaser trailer here, it's exciting, and all of it is like footage that we've seen before. There's a couple new shots, I think, that are like just like different angles of shots we've seen before, but for the most part, it's all the same thing that we've seen. What I actually like is at the end, it says The Walking Dead, the final season trilogy. I love the fact that they're going with the trilogy thing. Again, I've talked about this before. I think it just makes the final season much more epic, right? And I am really excited for this next arc to kick off. Honestly, I really can't wait to watch the first episode or two and then start going into every episode weekly. The Reapers, I really am excited for. I love the music for the Reapers, and I hope that they use that for the final season, because I think that it adds this very creepy, like almost like Aliens versus, no, I don't want to say that. It's not Aliens versus Predators, but it's they have like this sci-fi feel, but not completely. Like, look wise, they don't have that feel. What I mean is the music with them, it's different. And I really like the fact that whenever there's a different villain, the music really stands out. Again, I've seen some people talk about the fact that it's been really annoying with all of the reveals, the Thursday reveals. And I would say overall, the reveals were just all right. Some of them are really cool, but some of them were just like stuff that we've already seen before. And to be honest, my expectations for it were kind of that anyways, because last year they announced that they were going to be doing these 11 weeks of reveals. And to me, it was just kind of, it was the same exact thing. I was disappointed. Some of them were good. We got some character portraits and certain things, but it was like overall, it was just like, I guess it might have been like 2 years ago we got that, but I wasn't the biggest fan of all of the reveals. Some of them were cool. Some of them were just misses. And I think that this year was the same exact thing. Like, I'm really not expecting a lot to come out next week. The character portraits, I don't think are coming out because King Ezekiel, Kari Payton, who plays King Ezekiel, actually said on Twitter that it was a weird promotional shoot year. So I'm guessing that they never got a chance to actually shoot and get those character portraits for all the characters, probably because of the pandemic and stuff like that. So it just made it a little weird. I hope next year we can get it then for the final 8 episodes. I honestly really hope that we do get that. But overall, I think like the character portraits it's one thing I wanted. Really, the biggest reveal was just what we got at Comic-Con. Honestly, like at Comic-Con, that was probably the most excited I've been for The Walking Dead really all year because of all the casting information we got. And like the week after, we got that first look at Pamela Milton and etc. So I'm really excited for episodes 1 and 2, and I'm really excited to just get the season going. I already told you guys all the plans I have for the final season, so I'm really excited on all that. But honestly, I don't really have that many death predictions or really any death predictions for that matter at all for episodes 1 and 2. I think if any characters die, it's going to be side characters for the most part. I think these episodes are going to set up the season, and that's kind of where my expectations are. I do think the episodes are going to be good, obviously, but they're the premiere, or it's a 2-part premiere, right? So I don't view these 2 episodes as going to be anything really amazing. I kind of see episode 1 ending on a cliffhanger, and it could be an annoying cliffhanger, or it could be like, okay, well, and then I'm hoping the vibe after that is not like, okay, well, we didn't really get anything for episode 1 then, right? We have to wait for the conclusion for episode 2, and so we got to wait a whole other week. We'll have to wait and see, but that's kind of the feeling that I have going into episode 1 and 2 is I'm expecting the story to really pick up in episode 3 and going forward, because where we're at right now, we're kind of everywhere. We just literally finished the Whisperer War with episode 16. Then we got the bonus episodes. Like, we're coming off of that, right? Like, if you think about it, we're literally coming fresh off of those episodes. And so I think they need to do some groundwork here and kind of build the story up a little bit, build up the characters and build up the world and what they're doing. And then afterwards, they can actually start to get into some of the reveals like Pamela Milton and go into the Reaper stuff and the Leah stuff. Although I do feel like Leah is going to be a bit more a part of episodes 1 and 2, but I mean, maybe not, but I think we could potentially see her at the end of episode 2. That's my predictions anyways. Like, I'm kind of predicting Daryl to get kidnapped at the end of episode 2, but then again, that would be a cliffhanger, so maybe that only happens in 3 or 4. We'll have to wait and see. But definitely post your thoughts down below, or your predictions, I guess, on what you think is going to happen in episode 1 and 2. And also, what are your expectations going into these episodes? Because I know that some people are going to have really unreal expectations, and to be honest, I kind of have to go based off of an episode by episode basis to be able to do that. I think episodes 1 and 2 are going to be all right episodes. 3 or 4 or 5 around there could be really good ones. And then I think by 8 could be a really good one, because then you're going on pause for a bit. And then when they come back for the second half, I kind of picture like, I don't really know between episodes 8 and 16 which ones are going to be the best, but I'm assuming episode 16 is going to be really good, because that kind of is the last episode that is sending off into the final 8, which we'll watch in probably like a year from now. And then we'll get into those final 8 episodes. And I'm really hoping those final 8 are just bangers after bangers, right? Like, I hope that it's so good. And then that final episode, I mean, my expectations for the final episode of the series is going to be too high. And I hope that it does meet it, because it kind of has to. It's the final episode of the show I love so much. So I hope I'm not disappointed. And I mean, that's just kind of what goes with being the final episode, or I guess just the expectation of the last episode of a big series like this, right? It has to be really good. And so I imagine Angela Kang and Scott Gimple and them are feeling the pressure to deliver on that, and Nicotero and all of that. I mean, you know what's kind of interesting? To think of the last walker that we're going to see on The Walking Dead. Like, I really wonder what the last walker is going to be. I think that would be kind of cool if they do make it iconic in some way. They do just kind of, they give it a different look, or I don't know. It'll probably just be some type of walker. It might even like have some type of nod to episode 1's walker, right? They could do something like that. That's kind of my prediction. But yeah, overall, I am really excited for episodes 1 and 2. the trailer and stuff that we got, the last ones, I mean, they're overall kind of cool, but I think that in general, I would really like to just get into episodes 1 and 2. And I kind of think next week, the reveal could be opening minutes. So I guess that could be a little exciting, right? But anyways, just as a reminder, tomorrow night, we're going to be doing the watch party. I'll post a bunch of details about it tomorrow. Tonight, I'm going to figure out how I can actually do it all and kind of set everything up. And then tomorrow, I'll announce all the details once I have it all worked out. And then we'll do the watch party late tomorrow night. If you guys are able to stay up that late, that'd be really cool. I imagine some of you guys, at least people in the UK, you guys are going to be, I mean, it'll be very early in the morning. So you guys are going to have a good night's rest and then be up in the morning and you can probably watch it with me. Whereas I'll be up all night, tired as shit. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, especially if you guys are there and we can do a Q&A and stuff. And then we'll watch the episode or whatever. And then afterwards, I'll do a Q&A and we'll kind of react to it and talk about it a little bit. But anyways, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Everyone has a